Okay, so I got into plants, right? Not because of COVID, but I've always liked plants. And I found out that my son loves plants too, my youngest one, J-Oak. Well, so I started collecting plants because he don't mind. I just thought that my kids would get mad if I fill the house up with plants, but they don't. They like it. Okay, I'm gonna teach you something because some plants are not growing on you, they're dying on you, whatever on you, right? Well, I planted all these seeds. I have broccoli going. I have spinach again because in this house we love spinach. Well, my daughter and I do. I have oregano. I have broccoli again because we love it. I have sage. I have purple basil. These two I'm giving away to my co-workers. So I'm growing it as a surprise. And this one been with me for 2 years. The leaves are drying out. These are peppers. I wanted to do an experiment and just bury both of them together. They're different types of plants. Maybe I'm doing wrong. Maybe I'm doing wrong. Like, I don't know. Like, a lot of leaves fell, but a lot of leaves came back. As you can see, there's a lot of green, new leaves, and just a few old ones that are falling. So I'm just going to assume that leaves fall before summer and then they get new leaves. Like I said, this one been with me for 2 years. It has looked its worst and it keeps coming back. Peppers are a good plant. Now in here, I have, that's lettuce and that's lettuce. I just planted it because my lettuce kept growing leggy. I'm gonna give you a secret. My lettuce kept growing leggy. So in here I have all kinds of lettuce together there. And then I have, that's lettuce, that's lettuce. You see how it's growing. And this one is not leggy anymore. And then in here I have chives, onions, and spinach again. And in here, I have a shade flower because I want to give one to my daughter. And then I have 3 ferns. That's the Christmas fern. Christmas fern. Well, you cannot see that because it's too dark. So I have 1 shade flower for me, 1 shade flower for her. Then I have my cotton plant. I love this plant. Okay, it's been with me for 3 years. It should have been at least up to here. But my grandkids, when they were younger, they will pull out the leaves. People will pull out the leaves. Nobody was careful with it. And I had, it was dying. But the thing came back on its own. And look how beautiful. This is my favorite plant. This is my money tree. You see how it has that leaf right there? That's because I have so many plants that I forgot to water my money tree. So that's, I think that one, and there's another one somewhere in there. Those are the last leaves that need to fall off. But it is growing new leaves. And there's some in there somewhere. So it's doing well. I mean, these 2 plants take abuse. Like, they take abuse and they just keep coming back. But that's my husband and this is my lover. That's what I call them. I love those 2 plants. That one was dying. That one was in price right, and it was winter already, and they were trying to get rid of their plants. So I got that one for $4.99, and it was about maybe 4 inches big. $4.99, that was not a bad price. The thing was, this tree looked like it wasn't gonna make it. It had brown leaves, bad leaves. The root was rotten. It was a lot of complications because during winter you don't water plants a lot. It's winter, unless you got the heat on. And on the stores they don't have the heat on, and if it do, it's not that hot. So don't water your plants too much. So my daughter said, don't buy it. I bought it. It's about 4 feet. No, not 4 feet. I'm lying. I'm 4 feet. That one is 3 feet. And look, it's still here with me. No matter what abuse it takes. And I do have to separate it from the window because that grew too much over there. So I have to separate it just so it don't rub. Then my daughter gifted me this plant. It's a listen, you're gonna read about it because I cannot pronounce that name. Best plant in the freaking world, and I tell you, it is the best plant. I just put it there, left it there. It gets direct sunlight, and it's there. It's just doing better. It's so much great. Then I have a celery growing. It's been 3 days. Then I have marigold. And in some plants, I planted marigold with them because it prevents bugs from getting into the sand. Then I have a lemon tree. It's doing better now. It wasn't doing this good, and I'm going to tell you a secret. The leaves did not look that pretty at all. It did not look like that. Honestly, it did not. My basil was sadder than that. It was dying. It look a lot better now. It's gaining color. Yes, there's a few leaves I'm going to have to poke out, but it's doing a lot better. This is a rosemary. Look at the color of the plant. I got me another cotton plant because, like I said, that's my favorite type of plant. So this is her baby. See, I have her and I have her. Now in here, I have an avocado plant. It's growing a new leaf right there. This happened today because it was not there. There was no signs of leaves. This plant was so sad. The leaves were drooping very badly. And it's uplifted. I have jalapeno chili. I have more cilantro, but these are seedlings. It's just that I put a lot, so I have a bigger container. But they still sprout. In here I have, I don't want to move it. I'll read it to you. But I cannot move it because then these two are going to fall. And I'm not doing that. And I'm not moving them from their place because this is where they always been. Until they grow, they're not leaving from their place. I have a chili jalapeno temprano. These are all, that one is a habanero pepper. It's still a seedling. This is another pepper. I will show you later on when they grow what kind of peppers they are. Because when they grow, then I'll move them from their comfortable place. But right now, this is their crib. And I'm not touching them like that. I have red beans in there. Red bean in there again. I have 5 different Spanish pimientos. I have green onion. This one I was having a hard time with. It's like my 3rd time growing it. Now I figure out to separate the seeds and blah blah. In here I have chile poblano. In here I just have lavender. In here we have dill. And I mark them with the name. In here, we have purple basil. In here, we have Hungarian yellow pepper. In here, we're going to have chives. In there, we have another lavender. 2 more avocados. Down here, we have parsley. We have basil. We have mint. I just planted that one today, maybe about 2 hours ago. I never plant my seeds in during the day. I do it during the night. I water it during the night. So like that in the morning when I open it, is comfortable in its crib. And in the morning it could take the sun. I don't know. I've always done that. And hello, they sprout. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing something right. In here we have more pepper. We have peppermint, which I am growing in there in honor of my people. In here I'm growing, I think it's thyme. Yeah, thyme, because thyme does well on shade. It's still seeds, so I'm still waiting for it. In here we have cilantro. It has a perfect lighting in there, and it's sprouted. In here we have elephant ears, which I'm gonna have to dig into it in the weekend because I think I planted it upside down, because there's no sign of a plant in there. In here I have olive Bailey Langdon. There's that in there, but I don't think that's the plant. I think that's a weed. And they don't make a lot of videos on YouTube about this plant, so I don't know if that's a weed or not. So I'm just letting it grow, waiting for it to grow to see what it look like. And that's it, right? Now we're gonna go to my living room. No, we're not going to my living room. Forget the living room. The living room we'll see later. This is my secret to growing plants so that they could have moisture, a lot of sunlight that they need, and so they could grow. Aluminum foil paper. You crumble it up in the brightest side. You do a little house for them. You see? Aluminum paper. Even on the floor, I have it. Aluminum paper, that's all that you need. The light reflects on it. Oh yeah, I don't have that one on the top in here. Wait, let me tell you something. I don't have it on the top in this section. I forgot I don't. Because these are low light plants. So a little bit of heat is fine for them, but not a lot of light. That's how I grew my Hoya. And my Hoya sprouted within a week. So yeah, you only put it right there and on the sides, not on the top, because it is a low light plant. The reason why it has a little bit on the top is because there's the plants on the top have it on the floor. That's exactly what I did in here too. And that's why my avocado revived. These are heat plants with a lot of light. You see? And I made a little bed for them. So it looked like this. That one is a lot of light plants. So with those, I'm going to keep them there until they sprout. Then when they sprout, I remove the foil paper. And then they'll do fine. Because that's exactly, look at that one over there. So it works. I put aluminum foil paper on those on the top because they're full sun. I put aluminum foil paper on those on the top because they're full sun. But you see I didn't put any on the sides because they could live on direct light, full sun, or just bright. This ones, I didn't put any on the floor because with cilantro, it will dry up too quick, and the parsley, and I don't want to kill them. So I just put it in there because cilantro sorta needs light, but not too much light. So it gets afternoon light. That's the only light it's getting right there. Maybe about 2 hours of light, and it's not even light. It's just like a little shade. But it'll keep it warm with the aluminum foil paper. And then I have it in here too. And then, so it could reflect up, I got it in here too. and it helps them because they're shade plants. So I cannot have aluminum foil paper on the sides or anything because they belong in the shade.